Hi folks, Strategic Wolf here, and today I'm starting something brand new here on the channel. I have had some requests on the channel for tips for beginners in Gwent. So today I'm going to start with the bare basics of Gwent. So how a match works, so the coin toss, drawing cards, redrawing cards, how to gain card advantage, more importantly how to prevent your opponent from gaining card advantage over you. And I'm going to talk about whether you beginners should be playing casual games or ranked games, and you might be very surprised by the answer. And last but not least, I'm going to talk to you about playing Thronebreaker The Witcher Tales, and how that standalone game can really benefit your beginnings in Gwent. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's jump into training mode and see how a Gwent match works. I'll just move my head out of the road. So the first thing in every match of Gwent is the coin toss. Okay, so here's the coin toss, and 2 red eyes or 2 blue eyes. Red coin and blue coin. Red coin means going second, blue coin means going first. Okay, now your deck consists of 25 cards, at least 25. A deck needs 25 cards to be a valid deck. Ideally no more than 25, but we'll get into all that in a future video. Okay, so each player draws 10 cards of their 25, so 10 cards in our hand, 15 left in the deck. Now on blue coin you get 3 redraws, on red coin you get 2. Okay, as you can see a 2, you can't see here, it says redraws remaining. I think my head's in the road, but you should see the number 2. So we have 2 redraws, and the opponent, who in this case is on blue coin, has 3. Okay, so let's mulligan some cards. Mulligan means putting them back in your deck. So you mulligan cards back into your deck and redraw further cards. So don't usually want 2 of the same bronzes. So let's mulligan one of these. And we've now drawn that, and let's mulligan this. Okay. Now, as you can see, there are 4 rows on the board. So our melee row, our range row, the opponent's melee row, and the opponent's range row. Okay? Now certain cards have to be played on certain rows for their abilities to trigger. And here's a prime example. Alba Pikeman has to be played on the melee row for that ability to trigger at the end of each turn. Okay? Now this is a stratagem, but we'll get into all the different card types in a future video. But whoever's on blue coin gets a stratagem. They get 1 extra redraw and a stratagem. The basic stratagem that's available to all players and to all you beginners is Tactical Advantage, or TA for short, which boosts an ally unit by 5 and then banishes itself. Now, why does the person in blue coin get an extra redraw and a stratagem? Because going first, although to you beginners going first might seem like an advantage, and to me it once did as well, going first is actually a disadvantage. Don't worry, it's not a major disadvantage, it's only a slight disadvantage, and I'll explain why. When you're going first, the board is empty. Okay? And you have nothing to interact with. Okay? So, for example, the opponent here, an empty board, so they played this, Alba Pikeman. That had to be played in the melee row, and damages an enemy unit, so it's going to damage anything I play on my melee row. Okay? So now, going second, I can react to this, and I can play around it. So I can play something on the range row to prevent this getting any value. Okay? Value, another key word, we'll come to value in a future video. Okay? So if I play this here we go. So, I've reacted to what the opponent did, and I have played on the range row. Okay? I played around their first card, the Alba Pikeman. So that's why going first is a slight disadvantage. Only a slight disadvantage, nothing major. But that's why you get a stratagem and an extra redraw, an extra mulligan. Okay? Now, a game consists of 3 rounds, Each round consists of a varying number of turns. The number of turns depends on when each player's pass. So right now, I could pass and forfeit this round, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep playing. So let us play this. Okay. So it's usually one card played each turn. Sometimes, as you'll get a little bit more confident at Gwent, you will be playing maybe 2 cards around. So for example, a card that tutors, we'll get to tutoring in another video, but for example, Ermion is a card that draws an alchemy card from your deck. So you're going to play a card and pull another card from your deck. So you play 2 cards in a turn. But we'll get to all those sort of concepts in future videos. We're just going to keep it bare basics at the moment. So let's do this. I'll get this out. So, okay. Now here is a perfect example to show you. Okay, so here we go. I spoke earlier about card advantage, so here we go. Now, ideally we want to win on even cards. Okay? When you're playing, keep an eye on how many cards the opponent has. He currently has 7. I currently have 7. So we're now on even cards. Ideally you want to win on even cards. You do not want to lose on even cards, and you definitely do not want to lose if you are down cards, because then you're at a serious disadvantage. Okay? Now I will happily, when I'm playing Gwent, go down a card to win a round, because it gives me control of the game. And that's what we shall do here. So let's play Donner. Okay. So now we've gone down a card, but we are now on the lead, and we can now pass. So our opponent has passed, and we will now pass to move into round 2. Now at the beginning of round 2 and round 3, you draw 3 more cards, and each player gets 2 mulligans. Okay? Let's mulligan that. Oh, another one. Let's mulligan that as well. Okay. So, now our opponent has 10 cards, and we only have 9. So right now, he has card advantage. He has more cards. But we have control of the game. So we can either pass, in which case they have to use 1 card to take the round and win round 2, and we go into a long round 3, where we both have full hands. Now, because my hand is so full, I'll actually get extra redraws, because I'm only drawing 1 card. So I'll get extra mulligans. Okay? And I'll show you that now in a moment. Now, just to explain, if I pass now, without playing anything, that's called a dry pass. And sometimes when opponents win a round 1, they will dry pass to let you win round 2 to go into a long round 3. Which is sometimes a good thing, sometimes not. Or, what they could do is win round 1, and then bleed you in round 2. So they could start to play to try and 2-0 you, or also just to play a little bit to see if you spend some big cards. Okay, some of your gold cards, to defend yourself in round 2, and get into round 3. So, I'm going to pass just to show you the extra redraws.
I shall relieve them of all burdens.
I don't really understand why he played 2 cards there. It's just because it's the training field. Nobody would really play 2 cards there. Okay, so we only drew 1 card. So we didn't draw 2, and we always get 2 redraws. We actually now have 4 redraws. Okay, so let's redraw this. Yeah, let's redraw that. There we go. Let's redraw that. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. So, there we go. We're now in a long round 3. We both have even cards again. And nobody's at an advantage or a disadvantage. It's pretty even. Okay, so that's the basics of how a Gwent match works. Okay? Okay, so we'll quickly jump back into training mode so I can show you how to gain card advantage and also discuss when we should use our leaders in a Gwent match. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so here we are on blue coin, and I'm going to try and show you how to gain card advantage, okay? So, to gain card advantage, it's a brilliant idea to do a lot of thinning, which we'll come to in a future video. Thinning is getting more cards out of your deck, and also tempo. So by doing thinning, you have good tempo, which means you're gaining a lot of points very quickly. Okay, so let's see if we can use this to pull out this, and then we will pass. Okay, and then we're going to use our bear combo to damage this and thin cards out of the deck. Okay, 2 more of these. Okay, so now we have a fantastic lead. Yes, we are a card less, but it's his turn. He's going to play an extra card. Here we go. Okay. So it's important just to stay in the lead or stay really close if you're playing second. Stay really close. Okay. He's very far behind now, so it'd be a good pass for me here actually. So yeah, we have 7 cards. So we have a brilliant lead. So we're going to pass. Okay. He's going to keep playing cards to try and take this round. Okay, so we will earn card advantage. There we go. Okay, so they've now won the round. But we have card advantage of 2 cards. And finish redrawing. So, just to show you, we now have a 2 card advantage. And that is how card advantage works. Okay, so our leaders. So when playing, you want to try and save your leader for as late in the game as possible to give you the greatest advantage. Okay, unless it is a cooldown leader or maybe a charge leader. Okay, we'll discuss all the leaders in a future video, but for example, this is a cooldown leader. So this leader can be used every 2 turns. Okay. There are certain charge ones like imprisonment from my deck disabler video, where it has 2 charges. So you can use that leader 2 times and then it's gone forever. And then there are other ones like pincer maneuver, blaze of glory. They can only be used once. Okay, so for those leaders you want to save them for as late as possible, unless you have a very good reason to use them early. Okay, these ones can be used throughout, and your charge ones like imprisonment can be used throughout the game, but ideally round 2 or 3. Okay, we'll discuss all the leaders in a future video. Okay folks, so I've showed you how a Gwent match works. I've talked about red coin, blue coin, redrawing cards, mulligan cards. I've talked about card advantage. I've showed you how to gain card advantage, and I've showed you how to use or when you should use your leaders in a Gwent match. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what kind of matches you should be playing, casual or ranked. And folks, when you're beginners, you should be playing ranked. Okay, it's a common misconception of beginners that ranked is where all the big guns play. Okay, and yes, that's true, but they are all up at the very top, rank 1, 2 and pro rank. Okay, if you click ranked and you are beginning, you're rank 30, you'll be paired off in matches against other rank 30 people, or at a push rank 29. So basically other beginners like you. So don't be scared, tick that rank button and play ranked. Okay? And you'll be climbing up the ranks in no time at all, and you'll be winning games before you know it. Alright folks, and last but not least, I want to mention Thronebreaker The Witcher Tales, and how playing that standalone game can benefit you in Gwent, especially if you are a beginner. Okay, Thronebreaker is a fantastic game, it's really enjoyable to play, and it also benefits Gwent because it unlocks cards from the Thronebreaker expansion. So you find certain chests in Thronebreaker game around the map, and it unlocks cards for you in Gwent. So let's have a little look here. I'll just move my head out of the road, and we go into card sets and go to Thronebreaker, and here we go. So there are 17 unique cards. Obviously these are bronzes, so there's 2 of them. So, but it's 17 unique cards that are all unlocked from Thronebreaker. Okay, and all these cards, they're all brilliant cards, and they all do specific things. Okay, Odo's very good in an Uprising deck. Black Rayla is very good in any Northern Realms deck. Gabor's brilliant in a Dwarf deck. Keltullus is a deck by himself. There's Keltullus decks out there, and they're a big deal. And if you do have Thronebreaker, you do have this card. Okay, Ivo is brilliant for a Witcher deck, so there's also good Witcher decks with Nilfgaard Witcher decks. And Lippy. Lippy is for double Gedneth. Okay, swapping your graveyard with your deck, bringing back Roach and Knickers, all those cards. Dagger Two Blades is brilliant in any greatsword decks, so Reckless Flurry decks, and now also the new Rage of the Sea deck. So these are all brilliant cards that can only be unlocked by playing Thronebreaker. Okay, and Glusty's also a very good. Glusty's a big deck out there, so spawning a lot of rats and a lot of spiders. So a lot of Arachis spiders, little ones. What are the Arachis? What are they called? Arachis. Arachis drones. Arachis drones. Apologies. Arachis drones. I just had to think there for a moment. So Arachis drones. Okay, so these are all brilliant cards, and they can only be unlocked by playing Thronebreaker The Witcher Tales. So I'd highly recommend to all you beginners to play Thronebreaker as soon as possible. It's a brilliant game and unlocks some brilliant cards that'll help you begin your journey in Gwent. Okay, well that's it folks. So next time we're going to build a deck. We're going to look at deck building. So the minimum number of cards in a deck is 25, and ideally should remain 25, should be your maximum as well. And provision costs, and we're going to look at value. So you'll hear a lot of people talk about a card's value and what's good value and what's not. We're going to talk about that in the next beginner tips video. And also keep an eye on the channel for future deck guides as well. There's another deck guide coming out this week, so hopefully on Friday. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Thanks for watching folks. Hope you enjoyed. If you're a beginner and if this video helped you, please leave a like, subscribe, and you'll get notified for all the future beginner tip videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay safe folks.